This is GetYourRockOut.com and we are with Dreamcatcher. Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
Not too bad, how are you?
Doing really well now. We just played this show, what, about an hour ago?
Yeah.
Still flying high, so...
I don't know about you, I'm crashing a little bit. I may need a Jaeger or two.
So what's it feel like to be at Bloodstock?
Pretty amazing. I think we're a little sad now, the sadness is kicking in, but there's a lot of anticipation, it's all over. So.
Yeah. So tell us about your road to Bloodstock so far.
Where should we go from?
I think we got the offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we didn't actually. We're playing a New Blood stage.
Yeah.
The general rule with the New Blood stage is that you have to win the Metal to the Masses competition to be on there. But the guy who actually runs the place had heard about us, and he just seemed that he gave Alex a text and just said, "I want you guys to play anyway."
It was the most embarrassing moment, really, because Simon Hall texted me, and you know how you can only see the first bit of a text on the top? It said basically check your email, and I was like, okay, I'll do that in a little bit. But then I went back and checked the text and looked back at it, and it was signed Simon Hall, BOA, and like, what? And I saw the email subject, and it was pretty obvious at that point. I ran into the other room, screamed like a little girl. Rang all of the other band, you know, they were at work and none of them believed me, not for a single second.
I wasn't buying it. I felt the phone go in my pocket, so I went into the back room where we made cups of tea, and I'm looking at it, and what he texted me was, "Guess who's playing BOA this year?" And I was just like, nah. Just like, I'm not talking to you, not if you're going to do this. I thought you were basically taking the piss, so I was just like, no, not listening. So eventually it came out that it was real. To be honest with you though, I think we felt like it was the right time. We felt really prepared for it. It was just a matter of keeping the intensity up with rehearsals. We knew we could do it and we knew we were ready for it, so it was just a matter of making sure that we stayed where we were and basically brought the noise. And the only thing that was a surprise really was the acoustic set that we had to do. We got an email from Simon Hall again like a couple of weeks back. He said, "Do you want to do an acoustic set?" We'd never played acoustic before, but of course we didn't want to say, "Oh, this is going to be a challenge," you know. So we just went, "Sure, no problem."
So how did you find preparing yourselves for the acoustic set on the Jaeger stage?
For the first time, we started actually, jamming stuff out as a band, because something not a lot of people know is when it comes to writing the music, we do write the songs very meticulously at home, on computers as well, kind of meticulous in writing them out, specific parts, and then we go home, individually learn the parts, and then we come back as a band, bring them together. But this was the first time we ever started jamming them out all together. Just kind of, we knew the chords, we knew how they would translate to acoustic guitars, and then moved it over.
There's a real kind of worldly element to these songs as well. We've always been a fan of kind of world music and flamenco and that kind of thing. So it was an excuse to try and bring that out, and it came out really well. Some of the feels of the songs are completely different, but we are starting to feel now like there is an actual genuine kind of viable avenue of acoustic music for Dreamcatcher in the future. So maybe we'll do the odd show here and there acoustically from now on. It went really well. So
yeah, no, you got a good crowd as well. So you got your album. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's called Soul Design. It came out towards the end of last year, so it's been out for a little while. We've been doing some shows here and there and trying to spread the word.
Yeah.
The kind of the general sentiment towards that record was very much the same vein as an EP. It was just like a kind of a very kind of hinting introduction. We didn't want to commit 100% to like a full record.
Yeah.
We just wanted to make sure that people knew that we were out there and what the music was going to be like. There's still a lot more changes to go with Dreamcatcher. The music's going to keep growing, it's going to keep changing, and already the songs that we're writing for the next record are actually quite different. There's going to be a lot more variety. This was just kind of a burst of energy, get this out, show them that we exist.
Get your name out there, get everyone to know who you are.
And to anyone that was in the audience as well, just there in the New Blood tent, we played a couple of tracks from the new release that's going to be on the full-length album when we do eventually get it out there. So to anyone that heard it, there's a little bit of a sneak preview for you.
Excellent. So if you could have a headliner, who would it be at Bloodstock? If you could choose, dead or alive, anybody, who would you choose to headline a day?
I'd like to see the new Camelot with Tommy Karabik singing. It'd be an excuse not to go all the way down to London to see them as well.
I'm actually kind of I'm kind of in between bands at the moment, like liking a lot of different stuff. Kind of a bit heartbroken recently with one of my favourite bands, which is Angra from Brazil. They've had a lot of member losses and they don't seem to be doing so much right now. They've ended up resulting in doing a lot of independent kind of solo stuff. But if I could get the true lineup of them from what they were a few years ago when they did Temple of Shadows and get them to headline, then that would be a dream come true for me.
So where do you guys draw your musical influences from?
Literally all over the place. It's different for every single member. So
metal-wise, we did manage to just sum it up. Like I think two of the biggest band influences were what we just mentioned, Camelot and Angra have been huge to us for a lot of years now. But it comes really from every avenue we've ever listened to. Adele, a keyboard player she sat over there, is a big fan of Muse and that kind of prog rock. And it definitely comes out in her synth playing. Ben, he says hardcore nuts. We don't approve of it, but you know we have to kind of put up with it. He's a big fan of Parkway Drive, and it comes out in the riffs he writes.
Yeah.
It's just a matter. I think we're all quite proud of the fact that we like so much different stuff. One thing that might be a surprise to people if you've ever heard our music is we're actually quite big fans of black metal as well. We can't wait to go watch Dimmu Borgir. We watched Behemoth headline a couple of days ago and that was amazing. So that actually comes through as well. We have a lot of heavy sections where we dedicate to try and bring that energy out. I think the goal really, because we know we've got so many influences, is to try and get as much ground covered as possible within like a song. So one of our songs could go from being kind of very gothic and black metal to all of a sudden having a very kind of syncopated, almost progressive to genty kind of riff. You know, we get it all in, and we're very proud of that. And we just know that when the next record comes through, that we have a lot of kind of avenues of inspiration we can delve into. So
where does the name Dreamcatcher come from? Why did you choose it for?
We were kids at the time, so it seems like quite an immature name, and I guess that's the truth of it. It was. But the sentiment of the name was not necessarily the object itself, a native Dreamcatcher, which is obviously something we get pegged with, unfortunately. What it was more kind of a short enclosed, it was more of like a short enclosed way of saying seize the dream, basically. We had, at the time, we were just kids, like 16 years old. We had a lot of dreams. We were going, what if we play our local venue? What if we headline it? What if we play Saturday night? What if we play a Bloodstock? And we decided that the name would be Dreamcatcher because we wanted to basically catch the dream.
Excellent. And finally, before I let you guys go off, what can the future hold for you guys?
Well, first of all, I think we want to say we definitely want to be back here in a year's time on that big bad boy.
Yeah.
But we'd be totally happy with the Sophie tent over there as well. But we want to be back here. We've got a little bit of a tour cooking up for October, November time, hopefully with our friends in Pythia. They're actually stood over there trying to put me off as we speak.
Oh, bless them.
But in the meantime, I think in general, kind of long-scale terms, we'll be going back home and writing intensively.
There's a lot of musical exploration to happen within these next few months with Dreamcatcher. There's going to be a lot of progression going on because this was basically a moment to kind of prove to ourselves and to everybody else that this is like the real thing now, and now it's just a matter of carrying that on. So the tour's next, then we're going back, we're writing a lot of new music, and then we're going to come back with this really heavy hitting stuff.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for taking your time out, and we'll look forward to you in the future.
Thank you very much. Cheers.